nobody is there in our family called Swati. I don't know how she named this. I'll tell you one thing. My brother really, he pushed me. He said, I said, I can't handle this business because I don't know nothing about the cooking, food, accounts, nothing. But he said, don't worry, you go ahead. You have to do this. And he pushed me.
I don't think I can ever be as creative as her. I think she's just next level.
You can. I was so buddhu when I started.
Some legacies don't start with a business plan. They start with a woman doing what she loves, quietly and often against the odds. In 1963, Meenakshi Jhaveri opened a tiny chaat joint in Mumbai's Tardeo. Not to build an empire, but to feed the people what she loved. And she called it Swati Snacks. In this conversation, I'm speaking to Asha Jhaveri and Niva Zaveri, Asha's grandniece and the fourth generation to join the Swati fold. Sadly, Asha passed just weeks after we recorded this, but her warmth, humility, and grace lives on in this episode and in the food she so lovingly preserved. This episode is all about familiarity, comfort, and an iconic Mumbai institution. Sounds to me like the perfect excuse to bring in the coconut caramel Patisa Indie Bar by Bombay Sweet Shop. Hi, Asha and Niva. Welcome to Big Food Energy. Thank you so much for joining me.
Hello. Thank you for having us here.
No, of course, I'm super excited to be talking with the both of you. I've been a huge fan of Swati for most of my life. And, the Farani Khichdi and the Panki Chutney have gotten me through some very bad days. So honestly, thank you so much for everything that you've done. It's really a huge honor to be speaking to the two of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, great. So before we dive in, Asha, I just wanted to ask, a lot of people assume that Swati is your mother's name, but that's not the case. Can you tell us the real story behind the name Swati Snacks?
Actually, my mother's name was Meenakshi. And nobody is there in our family called Swati. I don't know how she named this, but she liked that Swati Nakshatra.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Instead of naming me Swati, she named the restaurant Swati.
Her third baby.
Yeah, yes. Third baby.
Absolutely. Yeah, I read the book and you mentioned that Swati means star. And so that's sort of the brightness that it brought to your life. Yeah. I thought that was really beautiful. But great. So Swati obviously was not a business venture for your family. Like you said, it was a very deeply personal journey that your mother undertook. And she started sharing her passion for food with more people. Obviously, she met a lot of opposition along the way. Can you share a little bit about your memories of that time when she was just sort of starting out? How that early foundation of her struggles helped shape what Swati Snacks is?
Sure. My mother started this restaurant in 1964. Before that, she used to make fantastic chaat item in our house. So all the friends used to come and admire about this chaat thing. And they suggested, instead of us, for few people, why don't you open a restaurant for the public? So everyone can enjoy your delicious chaat. At that time, only the roadside chaat was available and not any good restaurant. And she had a very good cook called Viralal. So he also helped her a lot.
Wow. And since then, of course, it's gone on to become this cult status of a restaurant.
Yeah.
The Ambanis love it. Michelin star, restaurant owners and chefs come down. And, Swati is sort of that pilgrimage that people have to make when they're in the city.
At that time, though, it was so difficult to control the crowd. Because this homemade items, it was not available anywhere and very delicious. Taste also very delicious when she started. Generally, people used to scared of this pani puri to eating out.
Yeah.
But people were so comfortable eating here. So that memory I've got.
Yeah. That's beautiful. After your mum passed away, you took over the reins of Swati Snacks. I know that initially, when Swati Snacks was just started, you were kind of apprehensive of joining the business. So, what sort of made you take over?
I'll tell you one thing. My brother really, he pushed me. He said, I said, I can't handle this business because I don't know nothing about the cooking, food, accounts, nothing. But he said, don't worry, you go ahead. You have to do this. And he pushed me. So, thanks to him.
That's amazing. Okay. Okay. So, Niva, your travels and education has obviously exposed you to a whole bunch of different food philosophies. Obviously, the memories that you have growing up in the Swati Snacks family would be very different from Asha's. But could you tell me about what your earliest sort of food memories at Swati look like?
I think one of my first memories of food, it wasn't at Swati, but it was Swati food. And it was at a time when I was very young, we traveling anywhere or especially internationally meant flying through Mumbai. And you usually have a long layover. And I remember Asha every single trip would show up to the airport with this basket of Swati food. And it was the most elaborate setup you can think of in an airport parking lot, where she would set up a full picnic, you'd have your tablecloth and everything.
Wow, that's incredible.
And that time, that was no Swati in Ahmedabad.
Yeah.
So they used to crave for this Bombay Swati food.
Definitely. I think it was a highlight for my family. Any trip that we could do a layover in Mumbai was a highlight because you began your trip with Swati food.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously, Niva, you joined the business more recently.
Yeah.
How did you sort of juggle, what you knew in terms of food philosophies from around the world, because you've studied abroad, to what the business does? And is there a way you kind of try to bring the two together, your two worlds?
Yes. So, I mean, we've been traveling around a lot as children, and my parents exposed us to, a lot of different cuisines. So just understanding food flavors. And then also when I was studying abroad, not only experiencing restaurants from the point of view of eating, but in terms of whether I was working there or learning about it through my business background, it was very different to see how it was actually run, how a restaurant in India is run, and then how a restaurant that has been established over 60 years ago runs.
You know what I've always found really interesting about Swati is that obviously you get chaat everywhere in Bombay and in Gujarat. You get pav bhaji everywhere, but people have always flocked back to Swati. Come rain or shine, there's always a line outside Swati on a Saturday or a Sunday. It's always busy. I've always been fascinated about this. How did you sort of make it relevant? Like, keep it relevant for all these decades? Why do people keep coming back to Swati?
Yeah, you need a conscious effort. Without that, in the house, suppose if you make a dal, it's very difficult to do dal for tomorrow also, the same taste. So that Maharaj, that he used to be with us for 50 years, he helped me a lot for this. So, and taste, as I grew, I knew about the taste. So I tried and make the taste every day the same. So that is the thing, people used to love that. My mother has started this dahi batata puri's dahi, and till the same dahi we are giving this now also after 60 years.
Yeah. No, that's incredible. Okay, so I heard that some of your family members actually had to interview to join Swati Snacks. I love that the idea of, just because your family doesn't mean that you get a free pass. Niva, was that the same for you?
Yes and no. Okay. I definitely had my tests, but me joining Swati actually came from a deal I made with Asha when I was in college. And she used to always say, come back, learn things at Swati. And so just as I was graduating, I actually made a deal with her saying, I will come for only 1 year. And she agreed, knowing that it would definitely last longer than 1 year. But that's kind of how it started. You know, it was just first familiarizing myself with what's going on, and then just absorbing as much information I can from Asha, from my grandfather, from my father, and our entire team, to learn the best I could, and then, you know, slowly start getting more involved in the decision making, and then actually being the one that takes some of the decisions.
Lovely.
Because Swati has never given us tension. Any kind of tension, it has not given us.
Touch wood.
It was so casual, just,
Things just happen.
Yeah.
yeah, as if we are running our house. Yeah, it just happened.
But obviously, I'm sure that running a family business comes with its own challenges. You know, you see a lot of food brands, a lot of family-run restaurants, eventually sort of split up. So, how did you plan to overcome this, just to stay true to what Swati is about?
Nowadays, the competition is great, the food business.
Yeah.
But we just concentrated in only our taste and the quality of the food. That is very, very important for us. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've had a lot of, like, our vision for Swati has always been the same, which has been the most important. You know, we know that this is a legacy that we want to carry forward. And that I think, like, taking family conversations, taking decisions together, and that kind of helps keep our vision aligned. So it helps eliminate a lot of the conflict that you might otherwise face, you know, when people want to take the brand in different directions. Luckily, so far, we haven't had that issue.
That's incredible.
It's rare to hear a family-run restaurant described as stress-free. But at Swati, decisions aren't made in boardrooms. They unfold around the dining table. Niva and Asha speak often of intuition, trust, and legacy. And that shows not just in how they run the business, but in how seamlessly one generation passes the baton to the next without letting ego take center stage. This is a story of values held in place by something much stronger than succession strategy, a shared belief in doing things right and doing them with heart.
Okay, Asha, you were talking about how now there's so much of competition. Can you talk to me about when you took over the business? You know, what was it like then, and can you talk to me about what that evolution has looked like in the restaurant scene?
See, when my mother started, she started only with the chaat items. And that also, she used to open in the afternoon and close by evening, 10 o'clock. That's it. Very few hours she started with. When I took over, slowly, when I got confidence, I started with all traditional items where my mom used to make it at home. So all these items I've introduced in the restaurant. I plan anything. I didn't know nothing about it. How will it go? Nothing. But the taste which I liked it, I always thought that people will also like it. So that's how I started. Then from the afternoon, I utilized my time from 11 in the morning, 11 or 12, till night, till 10 o'clock.
So panki chutney was not always on the menu, or
No,
did it
not
come
when
later?
mom started, no.
Oh, wow. Okay.
No, then I started all traditional item like fadani khichdi, pan ki chutney, satpadi gatta, all these things. And I keep introducing a new items. I invent my own recipes.
I often joke that Asha dreams about recipes because the way she can combine ingredients and flavor combinations is something that I could never even dream of. And I remember when I was growing up, Asha would be like, try this, you know, it's made from so-and-so thing. And I'd be like, no, I don't like these ingredients. I don't like this combination. And then eventually these are the exact things that I will want to order off of the menu every single day because I like it so much.
Then my brother always says you have to delete certain items. You can't go on making so many items. It's difficult to handle. So I have to control myself.
Fair enough. That's amazing. I think a lot of chefs who might be listening to this will be very, very inspired. What I also love about Swati is that, it's evolved into this beloved brand over the years across Bombay, across Ahmedabad. And it's sort of become very, like, if someone takes a picture of Swati Snacks food, you know immediately that they're at Swati Snacks. Not just because of how the food looks, but also because of the lovely yellow plates.
And that is the reason.
And the steel
yellow
table.
plate and the steel table. It has become very popular.
Yeah.
All my brother designed it.
Incredible.
It didn't always look like this, but I know that at least for at least the last 25, 26 years.
No, more
and
than
longer,
that. Since we started, yes, almost.
Yeah, there's been, I remember couple of like significant renovations where we were like, okay, the stainless steel tables come into play, you know, because we can keep them clean, customers and know that they're dining on a clean surface. It's not very difficult to maintain. And then it went on to, I think the yellow plates is my grandfather's idea.
Yeah,
because he always,
that's my brother's idea.
Yeah, he loves bringing in these colors, you know, wherever he could. But it was like, okay, instead of painting the walls yellow, why don't we make the plates yellow? And that's how it's now become so integral to our brand and identity that I don't think we could ever move away from yellow plates.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think
when I
everyone would
started, people were saying that how can you give in this melamine plate?
Yeah. Yeah. They're like,
But
wow.
we didn't listen to them and just stick to this only.
Yes.
Well, thank God for that.
Yeah.
You know, when Asha talks about inventing recipes in her dreams and trusting her gut, it's easy to forget that Swati Snacks is a seriously successful restaurant. Let's take the panki chutney, for example. When they first started, they did just about 5 plates daily. And today, Swati moves about 600 pankis daily across 4 different locations. It's even more staggering when you look at the numbers. Swati Snacks, which began as a 250 square foot space in Tardeo with an initial investment of just 35,000 rupees, has grown into a multi-city chain without franchising or investors and a team trained entirely in-house.
So it's interesting, Asha, you mentioned that, of course, the family is very influenced by design and design runs in the family. I've always found this very fascinating that Swati is run by a family of people who are also doing something else. You know,
Yes.
there are architects in the family.
Correct.
Niva, your background is in sustainable development.
Yes.
There are no investors. There's no external pressure to do anything. So how does that play into how Swati is run and the choices you make?
Because we made Swati as a hobby. It's not like we wanted something from the Swati, but just for pleasure we did this. And for our satisfaction.
Yeah. It's our love for food, Asha's love for experimenting with recipes, and just an avenue for us to share what we eat and what we make at home. And also just, Meenakshi Ben's legacy of what she started, like the dahi bataka puri, which is something she introduced, is something that I still eat on a weekly basis. So it was a way to kind of carry that forward.
And that is the reason we wanted to maintain the standard. We won't allow the standard to be gone down. See, people have been asking us from all over the world for the franchise. But we don't give franchise at all. This is a family-run business and we kept it as it is now.
That's incredible. Yeah, I'm sure Swati would do amazingly well in the US and the UK. But I'm curious to understand, like, what was the deciding factor for that? You know, obviously, a franchise is a great way for a restaurant group to make money, to expand. But obviously, you felt otherwise.
As a family, we do like to have that level of involvement, not necessarily control, but just, knowing what we are doing and how we're doing it. It doesn't matter whether we're standing on the restaurant floor, we're in the kitchen, or we're at home. But having that, we've kind of built that trust with our team, that even if we weren't present, we know that they're doing a good enough job.
So I love Gujarati food, and I visit Ahmedabad every now and then. And this one time I remember going to Manik Chowk in Ahmedabad, and I remember trying the cheese pineapple sandwich. And it was so good. It had like grated Amul cheese and like this tinned pineapple, and it was so delicious. Obviously not something that most people would eat, but it got me thinking about like how Gujaratis are so inventive and so creative when it comes to cooking.
And I think that's been one of the things that makes it comforting, where people keep coming back to eat the same things, because you can get khichdi anywhere, but Swati's khichdi is different. So that's something.
And the combinations which I've made, like shrikhand, the bedai roti and the aloo sabji, people like that, those combinations.
Incredible. Yeah, because, the Gujarati community has a way of making everything from lasagna to croissants into like a home style dish, right?
Yeah.
So does that spirit of like experimentation also exist at Swati?
100. No,
I don't think
not
so.
that way.
Yeah, okay.
No, but you still experiment with Gujarati recipes. But
Gujarati recipes, yes.
Yeah.
But not with the croissants and
No,
like that.
not in that element.
Right.
One thing I want to say that in our restaurant, including me, nobody's come from the hotel industry background. We don't have anyone. But I don't know how we are doing this.
That's amazing. Yeah, you've spoken before about, you prefer to train people from in-house instead of hiring people with years of experience.
Yeah.
Which is very unusual, especially in a city like Bombay where you have access to people who are from the hospitality industry.
Yes.
So what is the thinking behind that?
No, there was no thinking. But when I started, I never thought of hiring a hospitality business. I thought just ghar ka aadmi, he can do everything. So
Right.
that's how I started. And everybody has learned only up to 12th standard. That's it. And very few people who speaks English. The waiters also, all in Hindi and Maharashtrian. So many foreigners comes to us, but they manage. They manage so well.
That's lovely. But of course, once they're in Swati, they go through a lot of training. Even in the book, Asha, you talk about the different kinds of training that you do and that you did with your servers. What is trained at Swati mean? Is there a process now that you take your servers through, even for you, Niva, in Ahmedabad?
There's no fixed process that we have, but I think one thing we really strongly believe in is that everyone should start at the bottom. And I think that is what trained at Swati means. You're somebody who understands every level of how the organization works. You understand that, okay, if I am doing this in a particular manner, what other department or area is it going to affect? Because nobody is fixed in their role. Everyone needs to be aware of their peers and what's going on, and also have the flexibility to kind of adapt wherever there's shortages. So that's, I think, one thing that is why we don't have people we hire externally directly into a position, because you need to allow for that adaptation. You need to have that mindset where I'm like, okay, I started here and I'm here, and this is what I represent, or this is the organization I represent.
Yeah. No, that's fascinating. You mentioned the Water Boys. Can you tell me more about the Water Boys and how you've sort of built that career ladder within the team, where they start as Water Boys and then they progress?
We always promote internally. We have, again, this comes from them building that knowledge base. They know what a role as a water boy entails, and then they learn, okay, this is the restaurant layout, this is our menu, okay, now we're going to start interacting with customers. So they become the waiters, they start interacting with that, they learn to describe the dishes that we're making in the restaurant. We make sure that everyone's also eating our food so they're familiar with it. And then once they're in that role, they're like, oh, customer relationship. Okay, now they're in a more supervisory role. They learned to manage the front of the house, the back end, and so on and so forth. And that's the opportunity we like to give everybody so that they know their space in the organization.
Yeah. Asha, I know in the book you mentioned that initially you had some trouble sort of establishing yourself as the boss. So did it take some time, and like if you can take us through what those hardships looked like when you joined, and you say in the book that you were quite timid and you found it difficult to shout and yell at people or just get people to listen to you.
Yes, still I'm the same. Because, for my nature is such. And when I started, I didn't know nothing about this. First of all, though, I was very bad in accounts. I used to get 0 in my mathematics. So I used to make so many mistakes. And my customers also used to laugh at me. And even my staff. Okay, madam, what are you doing? I said, I don't know what I'm doing. And slowly, gradually went on.
Things fell into place.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I love that. Swati, of course, is not just about food, but it's that sense of community.
Yeah.
Another thing that really plays to Asha's strengths is this sense of fun-loving nature that she has. And when you're at Swati and you see Asha interacting with a customer, it can be someone she's known for 20 years or 20 minutes, but she makes everyone feel so welcome. And she'll immediately be like, oh, get them this and this, get them something special to try. And it's bringing that element of like how you would treat your guest at home. And I think this is something that Asha built, which is something that she's taught our team. Our servers, our supervisors, managers, they all have this sense of treating everyone like your family, just like we treat them as our family. And, putting a lot of effort into customer relationships. We've never even had to train them this way. They have learned that the more you interact with customers and the more you remember their likes and dislikes, their next experience becomes that much better and better and better. Which is why, there'll be people who come to Swati who will never have any idea who we are, but they will know exactly who is in our team and who's going to be where on what day.
Wow.
And I always, every Diwali, I always address to my staff and I always tell them that, look, all the customers are coming are our God. We are serving God. So you please be careful. Then only the Lakshmi will come to your house.
Absolutely. That's what Indian hospitality is all about.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Okay, so Niva, you're relatively new to working with Swati. Has there been a surprising element of joining the family business? I'm curious, like, how do you balance honoring tradition while still, embracing modern innovations?
So again, I came into this from a more managerial management background. So a lot of what I've been working on or implementing has been on the back end, which means that I'm not necessarily messing with recipes or food production.
Yeah.
But I've learned that, there's two sides to this. And because I started from more of the back-end activities and focusing on the systems and processes, it's made me that much more confident to now go out and interact with customers, speaking with individuals like yourself, which has been lovely.
At Swati Snacks, there's no shiny hospitality degree hanging on the wall, no management playbook, but just a belief. Belief that someone without formal training can still be world-class, and that a water boy can learn every inch of the shop floor and eventually run the restaurant. Because at Swati, growth isn't just handed to you. It's earned through humility, hard work, and tasting the food you're proud to serve.
I must tell that this younger generation is really teaching us how for the management. They are the best, I think. They comes out with a very different ideas.
Yeah, like what? I'm curious. Like what ideas has Niva brought?
Like suppose packing material, no? Niva?
Yeah, we're currently on a drive to use sustainable packaging materials, things that are home compostable. We don't want to be using plastic. So we're in a big project right now, which is finding good packaging that means that your food still arrives at home in a great condition without having a negative impact on the environment. That's my sustainability background. But just things like initiatives like this, also just incorporating technology into our processes, whether it's through payment methods or production planning. It's kind of evolving these systems that have been in place for 60 years. And I remember that there were some ideas that I would tell Asha in the beginning. She was like, oh, there's no way we could do this. We've been doing this way for so long. And then my approach was, okay, forget about change. Here are 10 small solutions that will make this process that much easier for you. And I think that we have kind of shown that, yes, it can work.
I'm still learning from them.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yes.
And Niva, do you ever think you'd get into the dish creation and cooking aspect?
Yeah. Slowly, I'm going to take her.
Yes. Yes. I have started cooking over the last couple of years, and that has opened me up to a lot more understanding foods, flavors, cuisines. And then, of course, with Asha, like, I don't think I can ever be as creative as her. I think she's just next level.
You can. I was so buddhu when I started.
But no, definitely. We're currently in the recipe training phase at the moment, where she's teaching me, making me try new things, combinations. And then I have the privilege of replicating that in Ahmedabad.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So then, Asha, according to you, what are the elements of a great dish? Like, how do you decide? Is it flavor? Is it texture? Is
Everything.
it like
Everything. One dish contains everything, like looks also, flavors. Flavors is the most important thing.
Yeah.
I think also
the ingredients also.
Yes, of course. Yeah, the freshness
Nowadays,
of
the people have become very conscious about the food and what are they eating. And so I'm trying to make little healthy menu also.
And how's that going? Are you finding that people are receptive to it?
Yes.
she made me try the most incredible
Couscous khichdi.
Yeah, it was delicious.
Wow.
Something.
Then bajri dosas, which I'm going to introduce now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
This
coming.
week. But yeah,
Amazing.
I think with Asha and recipe, it also, what's lovely is it evolves with how she evolves. And that's how she constantly innovates. She knows, okay, these are my dietary limitations. How can I bring Swati into this? And then she'll come up with these 10 recipes at home. And out of those 10, she'll love 8 of them, and 6 of them will be in Swati the next day. And it's just, her process is amazing.
Then my brother has to control me.
Yeah. We often call Asha and say, Asha, you have 10 new items on the Bombay menu. Ahmedabad can't keep up at this pace.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So does the menu go through a change every season, or based on ingredients?
There is
or
no time.
based on your own creativity?
Yeah, exactly.
We have seasonal variations on our specials board, but the
Tardeo
core,
and all of
exactly. But actually almost seasonally, because every 3 or 4 months Asha will be like, okay, enough, Ahmedabad introduce something new.
Actually, we don't plan nothing.
Yeah.
This restaurant going on without the planning only.
Incredible.
Yeah.
It's real. It's just amazing to hear all of this.
Everything counts.
I think it also...
And the most important thing is the hygiene.
Yeah.
Hygiene level has to be good. And that customers have that confidence. That once we go there and have sugarcane juice or pani puri ka pani, we are not going to fall sick. Even pregnant women, doctors also said that if you feel like going to have a pani puri, then go to Swati. So that's it.
Incredible. Wow. Okay, so obviously the pani puri and between the ganne ka juice, you've had a very interesting clientele. everyone from, like I said earlier, Mukesh Ambani and his family to Michelin star chefs have come. How do you sort of keep up, and how does the staff keep up, when these people are in the restaurant? Obviously, there's a lot of pressure to make sure that you're delivering at your best. So do you have a specific way of operating when there are celebrities in the restaurant? Or, I'm just curious.
Yeah. No, Ambanis used to come before, but now they don't come anymore because they ask food from the restaurant. Practically every day they take.
Yeah, like you mentioned, we have had a fair few people who've come in, the thing is, we don't really want to make that distinction in the sense that, of course, we recognize people and appreciate the work that they're doing in their space. But in terms of our point of view, all of our customers are equal. They all get the same treatment. They're all served by the same people, the same food. We know that it's clean. So no matter who walks in the door, we were able to provide that same experience, which has been very nice.
Yeah, no, it's incredible that, of course, these guests are treated like everyone else. I think that's the best part of Swati, is that everyone's the same. Everyone's a god. Okay, so Asha, if you could take me through, you've seen the beginning, middle, and of course the present of Swati Snacks. What does the future look like?
Future? You have to ask this younger generation because they are going to take over. But I'm sure, and they are very smart, so they'll continue with this legacy.
Yeah.
That confidence I have.
Of course. Yeah. But Niva, I'd love to know from you, like what is in store for the future of Swati Snacks?
What I'm looking forward to is, again, working on these systems and operations on the back end, making sure that Swati, both across Mumbai and Ahmedabad, right now they are two independent restaurants that serve the same food, but there is a lot of areas in which that I want to focus on to kind of bring it together. Of course, in the future, I would love to take Swati out there, make it more recognizable in the international space, but we'll see how it goes.
Incredible.
Yes, thank you.
So that sort of ends the interview portion of our chat. We're going to play a small game.
Okay.
It's called Plate It, Taste It, or Ban It. So I'm going to give you a bunch of different weird dishes. They're just random dishes that our team has had some fun creating.
Okay.
And just by the sound of it, you tell me if it should be plated, meaning you'll serve it, taste it, meaning you'll try it once, and ban it, meaning it would never even see the light of day.
Okay.
Yeah? Are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, great. So the first one is imli shots. Plate it, taste it, or ban it.
What do you think?
Imli shots, you have to add something, then only. Otherwise, you can't give khata imli to anyone.
This is what I mean.
So for that, you have to create your own imli shots.
Okay, fair. So it'll have to be imli shots with something else.
Yes.
And if it was something else, would you plate it, taste it, or bin it?
With something, if I like the taste, definitely I'll taste it.
Okay.
Okay. Great. Your second one, plate it, taste it, or ban it. Dhokla sushi rolls.
Never. This combination doesn't go in my head. Sushi and dokla, I don't know.
What you could do is
one can create certain things different. But I don't know.
You know what you could do? You could have a thin dokra with chutney and matcha and roll it up like a sushi.
Yes, of course. That's a wonderful recipe.
Nice.
I must try then. Good you gave me idea.
I'm coming for the trial.
Yeah, sure. I'll invite you first.
Okay, great. Next dish. Plate it, taste it, or ban it. Fafda nachos with cheese sauce.
Fafda,
Nachos with cheese sauce.
Fafda and cheese sauce can't go together. No, I don't think so. Fafda has its own sauce, which I give in Swati. Yeah,
So for the better version, go to Swati Snacks.
yeah.
Okay. Your next dish is Pani Puri Mojito. Plated, tasted or ban it.
It could
Yeah,
work.
it could work.
Yeah.
Definitely. Why not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Plate it.
Great.
Yeah.
Lovely. Your next one is Save Custard. Plated, tasted, ban it.
Can't imagine this.
No, I can't. I can't either.
Save and custard can't go together because once you put it in a custard, the save become very soggy. You can't eat that.
Yeah, fair. Technical problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Plated, tasted or ban it. Cotton candy chaat.
Cotton
Cotton candy chaat.
I don't know.
I think cotton candy would be too sweet to enjoy in a chaat element because I think it has the ability to overpower the chaat flavor.
No, that also. But Niva, the cotton candy, suppose if you add anything,
It'll just dissolve
It can't
away.
become a candy.
Yeah.
It will become that chikat, that chewy thing.
Yeah.
So certain things you can't do it.
Okay. And the last one, wasabi jalebi. Plated, tasted or ban it.
No, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I must try.
I'm intrigued on trying that too.
Lovely. Good idea.
Lovely. Great. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been a really lovely chat, and it's really been an honor to speak to two generations of Swati Snacks for so long and really understand all of the lovely things that you've done
Not
to build the
to
business.
third generation.
Fourth.
She's my third.
No, but two out of 4.
Yeah.
2 out of 4. Yes. Lovely. But thank you so much.
And thank you so
Thank
much.
you
This has
for
been
calling
really
us.
lovely.
Yes.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to show us some love. Hit like, drop a comment, and scribble it in chutney. We're on YouTube, Spotify, and wherever food memories live. And tell us, which dish from your childhood lives rent-free in your head?